welcome to another episode of Smack Talk, Leave It on the Court. This is episode number 8. I am Cerebral. To my left, I got Joe. What's good, Joe?
What's up, man? What's up?
To my right, I got AK. What's good, man?
What's going on, everybody?
I am finally back. It's been a 2-week hiatus for me. This has been weird listening to the podcast, not being on it. I want to thank Tiny and D-Mob for filling in for me for those 2 weeks. That was awesome. The song that you heard before the podcast started, that was me and my boy LC. LC does the audio for the podcast. Smack Talk, Leave It on the Court. That's going to be available soon, but that's going to be our theme song going forward. Looking into that. How's everybody's weekend so far?
It's good, except for this rainy Sunday we got going on.
It's good.
Sleepy.
I got my basketball game again. We won last week, by the way. We won by 30 points last week.
I heard that you was helping LeBron last week. Y'all didn't win.
I forgot. I lost those games. I played a pickup league though, and we won there. You know,
Oh,
we
okay.
can't win.
Did you score more than Kyle Korver?
No.
I think you were part of the problem too then.
Yeah, baby.
All
You
right.
know what? I play my role. You know, you have that screenshot of Dennis Rodman at the free throw line with 0 points and 22 rebounds. That is my role.
With 5 fouls.
With 5 fouls.
No, actually, I haven't hit a foul these first 2
I'm
games.
just fucking with you.
Shut up, hack.
I don't play defense. How am I hack?
All right, let's get to it. I'm gonna take the first few minutes here because I've been gone for a couple weeks. I got to get some stuff off of my chest. First off, let me say this about I want to touch into the Western Conference Finals for just a second and a cautionary tale. So I made a bet with a friend on the Western Conference Finals, and it wasn't a huge amount of money, but it was a significant amount for me to care. And I got to tell you, I will probably never bet on sports again because I'm not a Warriors nor a Rockets fan. But come Game 7, I was highly invested and really, really upset with the thought that the Warriors could have lost that game because it would have been money out of my pocket. Let me tell you that. So I don't think sports betting is for me. Just going to throw that out there. Now, to the NBA Finals. I was really hoping that we still had a series to talk about, even if it was assumed to be over. But no, the series is actually over. So I got to go in on the Cavaliers and their fearless leader, LeBron James.
Not all his fault.
First off, no, you're right. It's not all his fault. So we got plenty of blame to go around here. First off, J.R. Smith. How do you not know the score in the final minutes of a game?
I feel you. But not to interrupt you, LeBron also didn't know they had a timeout. I know you've seen the clip of the bench. Oh, we had a timeout. Oh, we had a timeout.
LeBron thought they had a timeout, tried to call it. When he didn't get it, he stopped because he thought that, all right, maybe I don't want to get a technical called here.
But I'm saying, though, as a team, before George Hill shooting them free throws, the team meeting should have been, if he makes it, we're full court press and we're locking in on the ball. We're not letting him score. If he misses it, offensive rebound, we get it. We got to call a timeout right away. Where was that meeting? Where was that conversation? Where is that? I mean, it's JR's fault for blundering that play, but it's a team effort at the end of the day.
Absolutely, but you know what? I blame it on 3 people. And LeBron is the last of the 3. I blame it on J.R. Smith, I blame it on Tyronn Lue, and then I blame it on LeBron James. Tyronn Lue, as the head coach of the basketball team, if you had an idea that J.R. didn't know what was going on or wasn't doing something that you agreed with, you call a timeout.
He should be first to blame.
If it's not,
He's the coach.
To Lue, I agree.
I
agree.
You go after the manager when the employees are fucking up.
Right.
So that's Tyronn Lue, I feel, is the first at blame. Yeah, J.R. Smith, but you're in the heat of the moment. I understand you're a veteran. You're supposed to know it. But Tyronn Lue is the captain of that ship, and he should have called timeout immediately. When you saw J.R. running the opposite way, you immediately call timeout.
If the ball is not in LeBron James' hands in that situation, you call a timeout and you get the ball in LeBron James' hands.
It wasn't in his hands at all. It was a great
So yeah, you're right. I put a lot of the blame on Tyronn Lue, but as a professional basketball player,
you got to know
not knowing the score in the last 10 seconds of the game is absolutely inexcusable. That being said, his teammates needed to do a way better job of picking him up after that moment because the game wasn't over.
nobody picked anybody up. It was LeBron, a blank seat, JR, a blank seat, and then George Hill. I mean, I feel like, even James Harden would have brought the team together like, look, you fucked up. It's over. We got 5 minutes.
Lack of leadership. LeBron James, you are the best player.
I think he was fed up at that point in time because he has been doing everything.
But that was game
But you can
one,
still
though.
win that game.
But that's game one, though.
You're not going to go to OT and beat Golden State.
You're
not going to win.
You've
But
held
what I'm saying,
serve with them up to that point.
But it's not a lack of leadership because look at what LeBron's been doing all year. He's been getting that entire team everywhere they've wanted to go. LeBron's been doing it himself. He is fucking tired, man. He's been doing it every fucking year for that team.
This was game one, though.
This
They
is game
still
one
have
of the
a
finals.
chance
But that's
to
what I'm
at least
saying, though.
win
He's
one
tired,
game.
bro. Look what he's been doing all year. The man is tired. It's not a lack of leadership. He was just fed up at that point in time with his teammates because they fucking suck.
They do suck,
They
and that's why,
suck.
and that is why he has to coddle them like the children that they are.
And
because if he
he's
doesn't,
sick of it. Because at that point in time, he said, "I'm leaving Cleveland."
you very well may be right. But you know what? They still had a chance to win that game. So you give up before the game's even decided.
The
You
series
have
was over
5
at that
minutes.
point in time.
You have 5 minutes to still win that game.
At that point in
We
time,
knew
the
as
game
soon
was
as
over.
we knew as soon as Golden State beat Houston, who was getting that ring.
Absolutely,
but-
but you know what? None of us would have thought that game one would have went to overtime. That they would have
Right.
even sniffed a win in game one.
Right?
They should have won it, but you can't. It's not a lack of leadership. LeBron is a leader. We've all seen him be a leader.
I've also seen him be a big crybaby in situations.
Absolutely.
too.
Every superstar is a crybaby. I don't care who it is. Kobe, Jordan, everybody was a fucking crybaby.
But in the moments that count, they're crybabies when the
But
game
Scotty
is over.
didn't take the fucking rebound and run the other way on the court.
True.
Did he?
Never.
Did he? So Jordan never had to be like that with them because Scotty is a top 50 greatest of all time players.
But if you still
Steve
have
Kerr
time
gets
on the
that.
clock,
That's why he's the coach because he wouldn't have gotten that rebound and taken off the other way. When J.R. Smith is done with basketball, he is done with basketball. He won't be a coach. He won't be a player rep. He won't be a player anything. Nothing because he is a dummy.
when you still have time on the clock, you got to stay zoned in and you got to keep playing, regardless of how fed up you are.
I would have been heated at him. I would have slapped him in the face right there on the court.
If that's
that's
it
what I
is-
would have done.
If that's how he's
go to
gonna
the locker room, you're done.
If that's how he's gonna act in an overtime game one, then he might as well have lost to Boston.
Boston wouldn't have done nothing anyways.
They wouldn't have, but you know what? They wouldn't have quit after game one in overtime.
LeBron deserved to be there. LeBron has been doing everything all year, and you know what? At that point,
I don't doubt that.
At that point in time, this is the first time we've ever seen LeBron get that heated over at a teammate. You've never seen him get. Usually, he is the man that brings everybody together. And he's like, "We got this." Everybody loves to play with LeBron because they say he talks to them like a real person, and he tries to bring them up.
I didn't see him like that when they lost to the Spurs when he was in Miami. He walked off the court, didn't say a word.
Well, you just lost a champion, bro. Trust me, when you lose a championship game, the last thing you want to do is talk to anybody. You want to go into the locker room, collect your thoughts before you say something you don't want to say. That's exactly how it is when you lose a championship game. Trust me, I've been there.
So you're
and the last
saying-
thing I want to do is go talk to anybody.
So you're saying he had the mindset of they already lost the series after that game.
They knew
after
they
that
lost the
overtime.
series before they even got in the series. LeBron knew.
He wasn't
I'm
playing like
losing.
that. He wasn't playing like that at all. If he knew that, then he wasn't going to go out there
Well,
averaging 34, 9, and 10.
But if he doesn't, everyone
gets
would say,
looked at,
Well,
where's
look at
LeBron?
LeBron. He blew the
Right.
shit again. It's his fault because you motherfucking analysts have never played team sports in their fucking life. But they can ridicule a man that does everything and leaves it on the court every single night. That man has given it his all every single season. 15 seasons that man has done everything. And then these analysts just come in and if he would have been like, bro, I broke my hand, I can't play the rest of the series. They would have been like, he's not good, he's not great, look at him. Jordan would have never done that. Kobe would have never done that. Yeah, if they broke the motherfucking hand, they would have. But they didn't break their hand in the finals or whatever he did to his hand. It clearly was swollen. And trust me, if you get your shit smashed, your hand fucking hurts. You can't do a lot with his hand. And your hands do everything.
Kobe has played seasons with broken fingers.
That's a broken finger. That's different. That's a completely different aspect of the game. A broken finger is one thing. You tape it to the next and you play with it. A hand that is completely swollen after it's his own fault that what he did. He punched his shit. He got pissed. But that just shows you how upset he was with his teammates.
I have no problem with the fact of him playing with the broken hand or not playing with the broken hand. Honestly, it doesn't matter either way. My issue with the broken hand thing is the timing in which it was announced. You announced it a couple days later or whatever the case may be.
When-
You let that slip out as soon as the game was over.
No, you don't, because then that shows your weakness. If you're a boxer and you hurt your shoulder before the fight, you're not going to say,
No,
well,
I'm
you know
talking
what,
about-
you guys, my shoulder's hurt, so
He waited
so,
until
okay.
Game 4 was over and they lost the series. And, oh, by the way, I was playing with a broken hand. This
When do you
entire
tell him?
series.
When do you tell him? Because if
you
you
know
tell him
what?
after game 1, they're going to say, well, that's LeBron's excuse why he's going to lose this series.
It's not an excuse.
And therein lies the difference between yourself and myself. You're an analyst. I'm a sports player. I know the difference of when you're hurt, bro, you don't want to tell nobody. You keep that to yourself. That's something you keep to yourself.
I
You don't tell
completely
nobody.
understand. I completely understand not wanting to
just
tell
like
anybody.
when you were talking about Clay, bro, Clay got hurt on the court. If LeBron would have got his hand smashed on the court and you saw him leave the game and came back and they would have been like, no, he's good. You ain't fooling me. I ain't no dummy. I know that motherfucker's hand is fucked up. Just like Clay, when he got hurt, bro, you knew his knee was banged up. His leg was, whatever he did to his leg, you knew it was wrong. He still played it, yes. LeBron still played it, but he said, hey, bro, my hand's screwed up.
No, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I completely understand playing through and not saying anything.
I understand,
It is-
but you don't tell your weaknesses. You don't.
No,
you don't
I-
tell the other team your
I
weakness.
agree with that. Then you know what? Don't say anything at all.
Shit, bro. When he put the cast on, people are gonna ask him about his shit. He's got a cast on it.
They didn't have to put that cast on until afterwards. You could have waited till everybody's out there. It's like, you know what? I don't want to have to answer these questions about this. And if you announce a few days later LeBron's having surgery on his hand or wherever the case may be, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
And that's when the excuses start rolling out.
Yep.
Then.
And that's the
This-
thing. There's no good time for LeBron to say
It's
it
a
because-
lose-lose, bro.
because
It's a lose-lose.
It is a lose-lose
I'm not
situation.
as passionate about it as because I don't necessarily see it the same way as him, but I do understand what he's getting at. He's trying to say it's a lose-lose for LeBron. You say it before the game, okay, somebody's going to attack it. You say it after the game, well, there's his excuse.
You say it after the
I mean-
finals. Look it. You say it a week later.
Right.
Oh well, that LeBron's making excuses on why he lost. Nobody can ever just be like, the man was hurt. Just leave it at that. The man was hurt. Big
He
deal.
played hurt. He did everything. He
still
left it out.
hooped. It's not like he went out and had 10-point games. He
34,
still went
9,
out and
and 9.
hooped. Big deal. He said, bro, my hand screwed up. That's not the reason they lost the game. It
No,
was
that's not.
everybody else. So blame them. Don't blame LeBron's hand. He's just saying, hey, bro, my shit's hurt.
Okay.
My shit's hurt.
So, who do we blame for the team that he had in the finals with him? Do we blame the front office? Do we blame LeBron for meddling with the front office, for the trades that they
I
made
mean,
in the
I
midseason?
specifically remember February 12th, LeBron and J.R. Smith, now we got a fucking squad. That was his exact quote. Does that mean he didn't like the team before, or does he feel satisfied with the team he has now?
You also can't.
Because the team that he has now, I mean, they made that trade. They were hooping and hollering. They were balling. They had a great first game with everybody. Is there a inner LeBron James just can't coach a team, can't bring a team together? Like,
A player shouldn't be playing GM.
No, but I mean, in the sense of his intelligence level, he's a better coach than Tyronn Lue. Let's be real.
Yes,
what has
definitely.
What has Tyronn Lue done? So he has to play that role in the sense of, all right, well, I got to think what's best for my team. But you also can't come out and say, well, I actually didn't like that trade. I don't want nobody on my team. You can't.
You can't play the game
Players
by yourself.
can't put their team down. They can't, because in all reality, they'll probably get fined by the team.
I
So
think-
he has to play it as a sense of, yeah, bro, we're straight. Yeah, like I'm sure he wanted some players, but in all reality, he might have wanted to keep some, but they had to give him up for some of the pieces that they wanted to get. So I don't blame it all on him. I mean, it's a big front office thing, and they have the authority to be like, no,
Because
we're
they
not
also
doing
got
that.
they also got to think about the future without LeBron James.
Yes.
We can't make all these moves to satisfy
By
your
LeBron,
needs
yes.
when
But
if
at
you
the same-
leave us in free agency.
Then
Now
it's-
what?
But at the same time, they also have to worry about, well, if we don't do what he says,
Like-
then he's definitely going to leave if this doesn't work at the end of the season.
Aaron brought to my attention, I completely forgot that when LeBron went to Miami, it was a sign and trade.
Yes.
Completely forgot about that. Then I realized how many draft picks Miami gave up for LeBron. That was a win-now situation. Now LeBron's gone. Now what are they doing? They're trying to rebuild. They're doing their thing. They're still making the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they're screwing themselves in a sense of we can't win again until these draft picks are done and over with.
Right.
So Cleveland also had to think, what if LeBron does leave? Now what are we going to do? We got to be able to at least compete in the Eastern Conference in the playoffs without LeBron and some of the players that we can draft.
Well, the one thing that they were banking on is they refused to trade that Brooklyn pick that they got from Boston because it was thought that was going to be a top 3 pick and ended up being the number 8 overall. So they completely got screwed in that
Yeah, they
situation
did a
because I think they could have gotten a DeAndre Jordan or somebody of that caliber, just a rim protector with that Brooklyn pick at the time because it was considered to be a really valuable pick. Now they're not going to be able to trade that for hardly anything.
I mean,
nothing of value.
Nothing significant.
If you want to go back to the series and ask who is to blame, I feel like it's the Cavs bench and role players. I mean, they simply
It's the Cavs players not named LeBron James.
You got
Well,
Kyle- you
Kevin
got-
Love. Kevin Love showed up.
He
Kevin
did.
Love did. If what Kevin Love's stat line
Yeah,
is
19 points. Yeah,
19
I
points a
respect
game,
it. I
yeah.
respect it.
I'll take it.
I respect it.
as a second fiddle,
JR
that's okay.
As your third option, J.R. Smith has 9.5 points a game.
J.R. Smith should never be your third option.
Kyle, I'm just well,
But we know
Right.
what you mean.
Rodney
unfortunately.
Hood. I feel
They need to play him sooner. than
Rodney
they did.
Hood was way too talented to be sitting on that bench. I understand he had issues with the coach, and 3 minutes left. The game.
LeBron James is a coach. So if LeBron James doesn't have a problem with you, then what does it matter?
Yeah. No, Rodney Hood should have definitely been playing. He's that spark of offense. He can create his own shot. He can
18
dribble
points
the
a
ball.
game. We know when he was in Utah, and then he got traded to.
Yeah, no, Rodney Hood definitely. When he was on the bench the
But
whole time,
Kyle-
and they got Jordan Clarkson
Yeah.
coming in. I'm just like, this is.
Kyle Korver for me was it 6 points for the whole series.
I
You
don't.
made essentially we know Kyle Korver shoots 3, so he made 2 shots in 4 games.
Right.
Bro, I shoot better than that.
One thing, though, one thing I have to say though, I watched all the games very closely. They were on him like
They were D'ing him
glued.
up.
They
You
were on
watched it
him
more than I
like
did.
Glued. That's one thing that they were talking about before they got into the series is that they had to spotlight Kyle Korver because LeBron
Kind of let LeBron do it.
LeBron's gonna get his points, but Kyle Korver off them screens, he shoots the ball great. And what they were doing is they were stepping up on that screen and not giving
knew
him
it was
that
coming.
open look. And then when Kyle Korver's got a hand in his face, he doesn't make the ball.
Kyle-
He's one of those shooters.
Kyle Korver made 1 3 in the entire series. The other 3 points came from the free throw line.
He's 37. I think it might be time to hang it up.
It might be time to hang it up for Kyle Korver, but the way he's played all these years is like just run around screens and shoot J's. It's like it's not like he plays defense.
No. I mean, shit, he did though.
We
Hey,
did watch.
hey.
Maybe not the whole series, but it just
Boston.
happened when me
In
and him were
Boston.
watching the game.
No, the Boston series,
Yeah.
he was able to do it.
Kyle Korver, a couple
He can
blocks,
pick his
couple
spots. He can pick his
steals.
spots.
He was playing Deion Brown, Jaylen Brown like crazy. Jaylen Brown, I saw a couple. He had 2 block shots in like game 5, I think, and he had a steal and he played some defense. I'm like, man, look at Kyle Korver.
Me and him looked at each other like, what the?
Because I think they said Kyle Korver with the block.
Yeah.
And we all look.
Yeah.
Block what? But yes, I think the whole issue with
And Golden State is just really good.
they were predicted to win the whole
Right.
thing in the beginning of the year. So in already, what really was?
Depending, I mean,
we
I was
knew
telling,
what was gonna
I was
happen.
telling Jesse on the ride up here. I mean, other than a huge free agency splash, I mean, they're the favorites again.
Yeah, they are.
They're gonna be the favorites until somebody
he-
constructs
Is
a
KD
team.
staying?
Yeah, he's staying.
Steph legit might win 6.
Yeah.
That's a discussion.
Durant's gonna go down with 5, damn near.
Yeah, that's definitely a strong possibility.
And if LeBron goes there too.
So okay, beautiful segue.
Hey, we talked about it. If LeBron goes to Golden State, I won't watch a single game of
What's the
basketball.
I think all 3 of us agree with that.
Do
we'll become an
they
NFL
flirt with
show.
82 and 0?
Yeah, they like, you guys want to talk basketball?
Nah.
No.
So let's talk about it. Where do we all think LeBron's gonna end up?
I'll ask you guys. Where's his best option? I know it might not be necessarily where you agree that he wants to go or where he should go, but to win a ring next year, is it Houston? I mean, I feel like it's Houston.
I think he's got a good chance at Houston. I said if
Definitely.
anything, I said that if it's somewhat of a revenge-driven choice, he's
Don't
gonna
let
go
him.
to he's gonna go to Houston because he's not gonna let the go. He's like, I'm gonna stop you guys from going to the finals again. I'm gonna stop you in the Western Conference Finals. You guys aren't gonna make the finals next year.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? But
I've seen this thing where it said LeBron should go to OKC, and so if they win, they can get Westbrook can get his revenge on KD, and if Boston were to come out of the East, LeBron would get his revenge on Kyrie. I mean, no, it's super stretched.
That's
but
yeah,
like,
but-
I thought
no, I
about
feel
it
you.
like, damn, that'd be wild.
Westbrook is one of the few players I don't think that LeBron can play with.
Nobody else is touching the ball.
it'd be interesting to see them play together.
Yeah,
Though. You know, just in the
It
sense
would
of
be
like, I would
interesting
like
to see how Westbrook's game would have to change to coincide with LeBron's.
It might be better.
It could be.
He might be.
They're both ball-driven players.
But what I'm saying is they take LeBron takes a lot of heat off of a lot of people in a sense of double teams, the best defender.
True.
They're gonna go after him, and they're
West-
like, well,
Now what?
I
Who do we
think
guard, Westbrook or
I
James?
think
You double team
I-
him. We'll double team him. If the other three ain't gonna score,
Don't worry
don't
about
worry about it.
I think in that situation, because the problem with Westbrook is that none of his teammates can talk him down as far as like, bro, you can't be as ball dominant. I think LeBron James might be the only player in the league that's currently in the league that Westbrook will look at and say, okay.
You know,
Possibly.
you're probably right.
They-
Possibly.
they have-
And I'm not even confident.
I'm
in
sure
that.
they're
They
probably
have the
friends.
same. They have the same. I'm trying to kill you mentality.
Yeah, and it's so. I mean, you put two of them together, but like I said, the way. But Russ, in all reality, they play this. Their teams played the same kind of basketball. Pickup basketball is basically what they.
Oh,
do.
definitely.
They don't. There's
Much
no
structure to the
yes.
offense. No,
there's
not
not
at
much
all.
of it. So maybe them two together might just play pickup basketball and win.
But I also think that's both of their problems is that they don't play in structured offenses.
But if you one thing that everybody talks about, in the sense of like, they talk about LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, everything. What's the similarity that Kobe and Jordan had?
The triangle. Phil
Scores.
Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
A coach that matters.
Who's been the best coach for LeBron James?
LeBron James.
Eric Spoelstra. If we're not going to include LeBron
James has
Eric
been
Spoelstra.
his best coach.
But
Plain and simple.
So he's never really been anywhere with a coach that is an
Hey,
offensive
you're
guru.
listening to me.
Yes, there's no offensive. He's never been
Because
with
there's
a
not
guru.
many
He's never-
coach that can take over that team and say, "You're listening to me." This is how we're
imagine
doing
if he
it.
came up and was coached by Pop his entire career.
I think he could be coached by Pop now and it would make a world of difference.
Yes, but I'm saying, like, imagine if he was
from them young
young
men.
molded
Yeah.
by that in the sense. So he's never played in the sense of where somebody's like, all right, we're gonna run this, we're gonna run that. They might, but in all reality, it's LeBron James. You're gonna play
Right.
your game of basketball regardless.
Right.
When you were in Miami, you saw it more. In Miami, they played a lot more structure because they had Ray. Well, especially when they got Ray Allen.
D-Wade.
Well, you had Pat Riley kind of overseeing the whole thing,
Yeah,
saying,
they did.
"This is what
That's why
we're
I said
going
LeBron
to do."
probably went to dinner with him a bunch of times or sat down with him and they talked and talked. But in the sense of like having an on the court coach,
Like, hey,
Yeah.
he's never.
this
had
is the
anybody-
adversity in the game.
But
This is what we're going to change.
because that's when because in Miami is when you saw LeBron's. I mean, not to say that he had a low basketball IQ before, but that's when you saw his basketball IQ really start to rise.
Yeah, and he played with D Wade is not a dummy. D Wade's not. Chris Bosh is no dummy either. I mean, so you're getting different bits of information from other people, and then like you said, Eric Spoelstra, he was younger then. I think he's a better coach now than he was then. But he also, like you said, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
And it's not like he doesn't, all these NBA players, all the old school NBA players, they all talk. LeBron's one of the greatest players.
It's evident.
I'm guarantee you he's, it's like when Dwight Howard was working out with, who is it you working out with? Hakeem, yes. But like, so I'm
That
sure
was
he's got
wasted.
some. Yeah. but you know what I'm saying? So that's what I always like, when people argue about it, I'm like, well, he's,
how much that could have changed
Yes,
his
how much
career.
could have that have changed if he played with Phil? Well, let's not say Phil because Phil was.
Uh,
Because after LA,
The version of Phil,
You
the
know
version
what I
of Phil
mean.
that Michael and Kobe got. Yeah, I get
Yes,
what you're saying.
yes.
Because if he was with the Knicks, I don't know how that whole thing would have went down.
He
Phil
didn't
might
want-
actually still have. A
He
job.
also didn't want to be a
I'm
coach
gonna
no
go,
more.
you
though.
guys. I'm gonna go that ruined New York basketball for a couple
Phil
of years.
traveling all the time, that was starting to get to him. So he
Yeah,
could have easily been the coach of the Knicks,
Yeah.
but he's like, you know what?
You don't want to do that.
No,
I'm
his
traveling
back's all
way too
messed
much.
up too,
Right.
man. He's up there.
Right.
But sorry, that kind of went off tangent on the.
So,
the sense of
no,
the
no.
question.
I think
So-
it's Houston though. I think he goes to Houston. I don't know if it's necessarily plausible with the contracts and everything, but
Well, Houston actually has. They have Chris Paul coming off the books. They have Clint Capella coming off the books. They have Trevor Ariza coming off the books.
well, they need Chris Paul to
They
win.
need Chris Paul.
They
I
need
think they
Trevor
need.
Ariza.
I agree.
And they
If
need Capella.
If
I
you switch
agree.
Trevor, if you switch Trevor Ariza for LeBron James, you'll need Trevor.
No,
Ariza.
if you switch, but in the sense of Trevor Ariza plays good defense and he'll shoot the three, so it's good. And Clint Capella, you have to keep.
I'll put Trevor Ariza and the Matt Barnes situation or the Harrison Barnes situation. You can say goodbye. You can say goodbye to
You'll be
Trevor
all right.
Ariza to bring in LeBron James.
Yeah, true, very true. But if you can keep them all,
definitely.
because you just got to persuade Chris Paul to take less money. You got to persuade all of them to take
A little bit
very average, not let's say average salary,
Just above average.
salary to bring in LeBron James. Who's going to say no to that? If they say no, get him off the team immediately and bring LeBron James in anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There are
so
guys
two,
that- yeah.
so say Clint Capella and Chris Paul are like, yeah, we'll take less money, and then Trevor Ariza's like, well, no, I'm not. We'll see you, bro. We don't need you anyway.
I can see Chris Paul and Trevor Ariza saying, "Yeah, we'll take less money because they've already made money in the NBA."
Yeah.
Clint Capella, this is his first real contract.
Yeah.
And he's probably
Signed
out of the
a 2 year.
three, he's probably the most important because he is your defensive anchor.
Oh yeah, he's your rim protector.
Like Chris Paul, you can, in some sense, you can get rid of Chris Paul for LeBron James because LeBron James can do all the things that Chris Paul does,
Yeah, and he doesn't get hurt.
and he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, probably. I would think his best chance of winning is Houston because everybody's like he needs to go to Philly. I don't think Philly is the team for him
I don't think it's a good fit.
because there's no shooters to throw the ball out to on the wing.
JJ Redick is a free agent.
Yes, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Covington's not going to shoot the 3 ball. No. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot the ball.
No.
You know, Joel. I told Joel Embiid's probably his best option in the sense of a shooter on that team after JJ Redick's gone.
That's probably true.
And I'm like, Joel Embiid can shoot the ball. He really can shoot the ball very well. But he's not the man, like you said, in the corner waiting for that 3 ball when LeBron drives and brings their double team to bring the help.
The paint
and
will
you
get
kick it out.
crowded.
Yes.
The paint will get very crowded.
So I don't think Philly's a good fit for him. I mean, Boston, I don't think they need to mess with anything. Trust, like
I
everybody
agree.
says, trust the process. Trust
trust,
that whole
trust,
process.
And plus-
trust Danny Ainge.
Yeah, you know, trust Kyrie coming back and Hayward coming back.
So
I agree.
I do agree with both of you guys that Houston is the best option. I have a gut feeling that's not where he's going to end up.
Think he's gonna stay?
Hell no.
Just glad we're all on the same
Yeah,
page.
no,
with
that-
that.
no. I do agree with AK. After game 1 is when he officially decided, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
I think that was a situation that sealed the nail in the coffin.
He's
for
like,
that.
I got to get away from
I got to
Henny
get the hell
Smith.
out of here.
I got to
Absolutely.
get away from Henny Smith. I can't play with him no more.
And J.R. Smith is going to try to follow him because he's a free agent too.
Well, I don't know if any of you guys saw, but when he checked out of that game, he went through everybody, gave everybody dabs except JR.
And George Hill.
Yeah, he didn't give George. I didn't watch it that far. I saw him just past J.R. Smith. I said, oh damn.
He said, "You are the two I blame for this."
Yeah, especially you, buddy.
So I think that I don't know what the reasoning is, but I just don't think he's going to end up in Houston for whatever his own mindset
Yeah.
is.
I think it would be a money thing, right? At the end of
No,
the day.
he's got
No?
the money. He's
Yeah, I mean,
No, I
he's-
mean not LeBron money. I mean Houston being able to clear
Oh,
space and
clear the
bring
money.
the pieces. That
I don't
LeBron
think they'll
wants.
be able to put together the exact roster that he wants. And then I keep hearing people talking about him and Paul George are going to team up in LA. If he does that, then he is the worst self-made player GM in NBA history because I don't care what else the Lakers have. You and Paul George are
it's not
because
a
all of
winning-
a sudden
4 years ago, if he went there, it would be different because you
Yeah.
could build. But the age he's at.
The many Lakers fans that I follow on social media, they're all like, "Stay the fuck away, LeBron. We don't want nothing to do with you. We're trusting Magic in our rebuild."
they
don't-
got
they're
good.
stupid then.
I don't know,
LeBron
man.
James improves
I
your
don't
team
know.
exponentially, but
I
for
understand
LeBron
that.
James,
They're thinking long
You're
haul.
messing with the rebuild now. That's been in.
It's
in
like
works.
Philly. They didn't really mess with a lot of
Right.
people. They got rid of a few
Right.
pieces here and there.
Right.
But for the most part, they kept their majority of guys intact, and look at what it's doing for them. So I think the Lakers are looking at it like that, like, hey, let's trust what we got here and just roll with it. Because LeBron, he's 33. If LeBron was 29, yeah,
Different
you
story.
better take him.
We got a
But-
few years to mess
Even
with.
I
30.
agree with that. But Magic has already said that there is no player that's considered untradeable on the roster right now.
I didn't hear him say that.
He said that right after their season ended. He said nobody on this team is considered untradeable.
I don't follow the Lakers closely by any means, but I definitely see the moves that they're making, and I can get behind their rebuild. I think the Lakers are gonna
Magic
be,
wants to sign a big name star, and I think it is going to end up being Paul George.
I think it's Paul George. I don't know. I just think if LeBron, I even think if Paul George goes there, he's never going to win a championship.
He's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think, money, you want to get money, but you also want to win. Like, that's the name of the game. You want to win. You want to win the championship, or you at least want to go to the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs. If
Yeah.
you go to the
You
finals,
wanna have a shot.
Make
you know,
that
if you
run.
You want a shot.
Like we were talking, Jim Kelly went to the Super Bowl 4 times and lost. Yeah, he lost and never won a championship, but that man went to the Super Bowl 4 times. You got to give him
In a
some
row.
Yeah,
respect.
a flip,
Yes.
a flip of
Yeah.
the coin,
Boom,
anything
boom,
happens.
boom,
He can
boom.
win one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'll take 4 shots at a Super Bowl.
You know what I'm saying? And
Definitely.
if that's all you end up with, like, hey, and like I said, championships is where your teammates and your teamwork comes out to
together.
play. In the sense of, like, you can do all you want and have the best individual stats, but if you go to the finals like LeBron and your team isn't, your flaws get showed a lot in
Against the
finals.
better team,
Because
absolutely.
you're against the best of the best now. You're not
Yeah.
playing against, they may beat a team that they shouldn't have beat in the playoffs and then made it to the second round.
But
and
it ain't
now
no
they're
fluke
here.
in the finals.
Yes, there's no fluke in the finals. So I think Paul George going to LA is just, if he does it because it's where his heart wants to go, then I respect it 100%. But if he's going there to win, We kind of know that's bullshit.
What do you guys think about the possibility of him going back to Miami? Because that is one of the teams he's going to talk to.
I told Joe I like that.
It wouldn't be bad, but he's not gonna win.
They got a good team.
They
down there.
were. I mean, I think LeBron James is worth probably 20 wins by himself on any team.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Miami won like 43 games.
Yeah. They had a good team last year.
Yeah.
Once they came into sync, and it's almost like when they got D Wade back.
Yeah.
They started playing really good ball, and you put him back there. Maybe D Wade stays again, and plays another year.
They ran Philly a good run in the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Philly was a good
For a
team.
little bit, yeah.
Philly was a good team. You know
What
what
was
I'm saying?
that game went? That series went 6?
6.
Or did it go 7?
No,
It's six.
6.
Was it 6?
No, I don't even think Miami won a second game.
I want to say 5 or 6.
I think it's 5 I think it went
yeah.
5 or
4-1.
4-1. I believe
Yeah.
it went 4-1. But either way,
Those are
Miami's
close
still
games,
not
though.
a bad team. You put LeBron on that team, they're going to the finals. Mm-hmm.
I think-
Boston, we got to see how they all mesh and how Rozier and what goes on with Smart, because he's a free agent
Yeah,
too.
they got
And
a
I think
lot of
Smart
choices
is
they gotta make.
is a very if
X factor.
Boston doesn't pick up Smart, somebody needs to pick up Smart. He's a good player. He plays defense. He'll give you both sides of the ball. He's not going to score you 20-something points
Now,
every given night.
will you? Now, I don't know about this because is Marcus Smart a product of Brad Stevens' coaching, and that doesn't translate
System
on other
player?
teams? Because Isaiah Thomas had his best career years in Boston, and he left, and he's just. I mean, you can blame it on injury. You can blame it on a lot of things. He's not the same player.
Yeah, but he also went from obviously a good. Well, when he was he when Sacramento,
He went from Sacramento
To
to Phoenix to Boston.
yes. So yes, Brad Stevens does help you adjust, but you also got to look at your supporting cast too. Sacramento, he didn't have nothing. Phoenix, he didn't really have nothing either. Boston, he came into Boston. They had a few pieces, and he hooped. He did, and then he goes to Cleveland, which is an unstructured system. And he went from one of the most structured systems probably in the NBA versus one of the most unstructured.
The most chaotic offense that you
in
can
a
play
sense
on.
because you're
the
playing,
second most probably.
You know what I'm saying? And so that just and then you got to have time to mesh with some of these players. People don't understand that. Like you put them in, you do a midseason trade, and I guarantee you there's more losses than wins in the sense of midseason trades because hey bro, I've known you for a long time. But we ain't never played basketball like that together.
Right,
So
we've never
now
played
you
in a
expect
structured
us,
NBA game.
Now you put us in a
And-
game and you expect us to mesh. And I don't know
And
if you're
that-
going to go baseline or go to the
And
corner.
that honestly brings me to my point of why I think that LeBron panicked midseason when it wasn't working. I think that they needed more time because IT just came back from injury. Derrick Rose was having his own mental things.
D Wade was doing what D Wade.
D Wade, they
does.
couldn't figure out if he was a starter or a bench player.
Yeah.
I think that
Played good, whatever.
I think that roster is better suited to go up against Golden State in the finals because they have guys that can play iso ball other than LeBron James.
I think a big difference maker is they should have kept Derrick Rose and D Wade. I think those two
And they
players,
proved that after they
I
got
think
out
I
of
think
there.
they should have. Well, I can tell you firsthand when Derrick Rose was the Knick, he had his most points in the paint since the year before he tore his ACL. So he was coming back to in the sense of like, all right, he's got you.
He's
see,
getting
you
comfortable
see it,
again.
You see that
Definitely.
he still can play and he can still do it. I mean, I
And-
saw
and
him
in the
take it to the
playoffs-
rim a lot. And so I think, especially D Wade, that veteran, he would have got that ball. He wouldn't have ran up the guy.
Dwayne Wade,
No,
the
D
key,
Wade's not doing that.
the key to Dwayne Wade is keeping him around 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, and even if you can get him about
He's efficient.
17,
He's
even
efficient
like
too.
that's
And them
yes.
20 minutes,
Yeah.
he's efficient.
He
Absolutely.
is, you know what I'm saying, and that gives you a little spark off the bench in the sense of
It
when
takes
LeBron
that-
went to the bench.
And it's another guy that
Yeah.
can run the offense.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
put LeBron on the bench. You throw but see that's the thing. You don't know who they would have.
You don't know who we would have been playing with.
Yes, you know what I'm
but you
saying?
do know that balls are getting in the bucket if LeBron's on the bench. LeBron's on the bench.
Yes. Yeah, D Wade.
Who's scoring?
That's why he played like 45, 46
Right.
minutes a game in his finals because he knew he could.
But I'm saying though, okay, you got a D Wade.
Everything.
He can drop down to 38 minutes and be less tired by the time the finals roll around. But
Yeah, and like I said, just D Wade has that. There's a lot of guys on that team that have never been.
there's
to
a
the
lot of
finals.
what ifs for this Cavaliers team. This
I mean,
year.
yeah, there's
know
what
what I
ifs
mean?
for just
Right.
everything, but like you bring D Wade there, that is the maturity in the sense of like, all right, there's another
We've
dude.
been here
I've been
before.
here. You
Let's
bring-
do this.
Jordan Clarkson, George Hill, none of them have been to the finals.
a lot of those guys that they traded for hadn't been in significant playoff series before in their entire lives, and now they're expected to play at a high level with
I mean,
LeBron James.
IT, D Wade, D Rose, D Rose hasn't been on that final stage,
But he's played in high pressure playoff
he's
games.
gotten there.
He played against
You know?
LeBron for a long time.
Right.
When they were down
Got
in
his
Miami.
ass
Dwayne
kicked
Wade has
by
won a
LeBron,
championship
too.
with and without LeBron.
True.
Isaiah Thomas was in line.
He helped Boston a lot. In that
Isaiah
playoffs.
Thomas was talked about for MVP last year.
Yeah.
He was.
Correct or not that it should have been, he was talked about for MVP last year. He was definitely one of the best fourth quarter players in the NBA.
Yeah, he was definitely playing his game.
Which that's what LeBron needed. LeBron needed
Yeah.
somebody else to give the ball to in the fourth quarter. I think they keep that team. I still don't know if I still don't think they beat the Warriors, but I do believe
It's not a
that
sweep.
No, it's not a sweep. I think
I don't think the
it's
frustration would
Right.
have been there. In the
That
sense
tension,
of,
that
yes.
J.R. Smith is playing the rest of this
J.R. Smith's
series
coming off
like,
the
oh
bench.
shit, I'm about. Hopefully I don't fuck up. Hopefully I don't fuck up.
if he's if he is a starter, he's not in the game in that situation because Dwayne Wade's in that situation.
Well, yeah, of course. But what I'm saying, I think Dwayne Wade would be your best off the bench. Let JR start.
Yeah.
Because you need that athleticism. You do. You need that athleticism in the sense of the Warriors. Because what are they doing? They're running around nonstop. You need somebody. D Wade can't do that. We all know he can't do that with them knees. But like we said, there can be a ton of what ifs. I just think that they should have kept. They could have let Crowder go. He's iffy in the sense of like the defensive end. I mean, D Rose. I think you should have kept him and Dwayne Wade. I think you keep them two pieces.
I think
it'd be better.
Crowder would have been able to help him out in the long haul.
Yeah,
And there was nothing wrong with Crowder when he got to Utah. He was playing perfectly fine.
yeah. I think, and that was just. I think he might have been getting more tick time. But the only people I like that came from all those trades is Larry Nance, and the only reason I like him is because he plays defense and he grabs and he gets rebounds.
He's
And
got good
he'll
size.
protect the rim in the sense of as good as he possibly can because he's only so big.
Right.
When you go up against like a Joel Embiid or somebody big like that, it's going to be tough for you because he's really a power forward. And you know what I'm saying? He's not a center. But I think the only person I like out of that entire trade is Larry Nance because Jordan Clarkson,
He wasn't it.
he's not.
Rodney Hood wasn't it. George Hill wasn't it.
No.
Rodney Hood didn't get a chance, but I feel you.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
They didn't, but he also, like
But-
you said earlier, he did that to himself in the sense of not checking in when they told him to.
yeah,
But 3 minutes, you're down by 15. Why are you checking me in now? You didn't play me the whole game.
Yeah.
No, they were
I-
up 15 because that was when they were playing Toronto. That was in a sweep.
Yeah, that was
Was
one.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
He just
Either
didn't-
way.
he didn't want to play in garbage time.
I don't blame him though.
Either do I.
'Cause if
Because
you-
he knows his talent level.
Yes, and everybody else knows his talent level. I could see, like, they throw Jordan Clarkson there. Yeah, you get some experience
Yeah.
under your belt.
Go
Rodney
ahead.
Hood, they just didn't give the man a chance. In all reality, that's what I feel. They didn't give him the chance in the sense of like, all right, we're going to give you some significant take time.
Right.
Because at one point in time, they gave Jordan Clarkson a ton of take time. And then they realized,
This ain't
we
it.
can't do that no more. No, you're coming back. You're sitting on the bench. There was a lot of games he didn't play in
Sit
that
next to
finals.
me.
Yeah. You're going to learn, baby. Come on. You're going to learn. I know they didn't teach you nothing in L.A., but come on.
All right. I want to get off of this Cavaliers and LeBron talk, so we're going to take a break, and then we're going to get back into some crown champions and some other stuff in sports. So we'll be right back. This is Mac Talk. All right, welcome back to Smack Talk. Leave it on the court.
None.
We're going to get into some championship talk. Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. You created a super team, and you won back-to-back titles. I'm not throwing shade.
I mean, they did draft 3 of them.
They did draft 3 of them, which is why I'm not going
And
to
they
throw
did
shade.
win without KD.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel you.
But then they went and got KD. But no, seriously, in all seriousness, they still had to play those games, and Houston did test them. They did what they had to do. Steph Curry, I think Steph Curry really wanted that MVP. The way he played in Game 4, he was chucking shots, and they were going in.
37
And
in
he
the
was-
closeout game.
And he was dribbling step back and throwing it up.
He
And
was
like 3 feet behind the line.
Yeah, he
That's
was
impressive. That's
he was
extremely
with the
impressive.
lead, Steph Curry, from the jump.
Right. Just shooting it.
Because with the lead, Steph Curry and like tight game, Steph Curry, 2 completely different players. With the lead, Steph Curry is a mean motherfucker.
And that's one thing that, like, when people always talk about Steph, I'm like, one thing he doesn't have is when the game's not crunch time, he he'll miss them shots. But
Honestly, all those guys will.
yeah, but you get like you said, you give him a lead. That man you're playing with house money at that point in time. You can just throw up whatever you want, and
At that point, you're essentially trading threes for twos. I mean, you're scoring
Yeah.
3, they're scoring 2.
you know what I'm saying. But even then, like Steph just will throw him up, and if he misses them, big deal because they're up by 20. You know what I'm saying, and the chance of them coming back to that is different. But yeah, like crunch time, you put these guys in a sense of adversity, and with them not having all these great players around them, and their legacy as a player, their numbers as a player, I think is going to go down significantly.
I think that if you build another like superstar team that's on the same level of them, and they get into a tight game, Steph doesn't play well in tight situations. KD doesn't play well in tight situations.
No, they're not killers.
They're not.
They don't want that smoke.
I think
They
Clay's
don't.
damn near Draymond, he wants to be a killer, but
His
physically,
role
he
isn't that.
He can't. He's not a shooter. I mean, I saw him shoot a 3-ball the other day, and it went about 4 feet before the rim. Like,
It either goes in or it's an air ball.
Yeah, oh,
yeah.
it's
There's
either-
There's no missing the rim or in and out.
I feel you.
No, there's no
Draymond.
good miss.
So do I.
Same way. But yes, I don't like. I'm saying in the sense of like you put them on a team with maybe one other good player, and their superstar stardom in the sense of them as a player is
It gets exposed.
It's not there. They're not a superstar.
They're a lower seed team.
What do you mean?
Like if you put like say you take KD off and you put him on a team with another really good player, he's a lower seed team. You put Steph and you put him on another lower seed player, lower seed team. They're not a championship caliber basketball team.
Yeah, no, 100%. I just think that, but in therein lies the sense of it. Everything is. That's why it's basketball and not tennis, because tennis is a single person team, a sport.
No, or
So yeah. If you're running doubles, but in the sense of they work well together.
Definitely.
I mean, and you can't. So that the team itself is gonna be a legendary team. The players themselves, I wouldn't pick in my top 50 right now. KD maybe. No, I don't even think KD's in my top 50.
all time.
Steph gotta be.
I would take KD over Steph.
Ain't really.
All
Yeah.
time. We're talking all time.
Yeah, all time. KD will be in my top 50. I don't know. Steph, if he is, he's like 40, 45 and below.
The greatest shooter of all times, that low.
Bro, because that's all he does, though, is shoot the ball. Like
But
we
he does
just
it
said,
better than anyone has ever
He
done
does,
it.
but like we said, put him on the Cavaliers. What are his shooting numbers like?
With or without LeBron.
Without
I don't know,
Le-
man.
without LeBron.
His shooting numbers before they were contending teams were great. They were.
But you also had Clay, and you had a good system there to begin with. They came in and had a good system. Mark Jackson had a great system there. Mark Jackson's a great coach. They had good players coming into that. I mean, you still were there with Clay and Draymond. I mean,
Draymond didn't get ticked before Steve got there. He just
with
didn't.
Mark Jackson, I mean, they had Harrison Barnes too. I mean, they had good players in the sense. He never was on a terrible team.
No.
That's what I'm saying. You put him on a terrible team, he's not doing what he does, because what that's going to do is going to draw more double teams towards him, and they're going to go top on the pick and roll up top at the 3. But they can't do that in the sense, because if you have your man that's rolling, so you say KD sets a screen for him, who are you going to guard? Because
You can't come out with it.
Because Kevin Durant will either pop out to the top of the key and shoot that 3, or he rolls to the basket and he's got an easy dunk. So you give him players to where he can't do that, his numbers are nowhere near the same.
I think
He's not one of those dominant players. He's not a Kobe. He's not a LeBron. He's not a Jordan, to where they can be on a nobody team and still do something.
I think his size has something to do with that.
Oh,
there's
100%.
there's only there's a handful of players that have that size and that can play
he's
like
not-
what you're talking about.
He's not like
not.
that, because if you see him, yes, he can dribble the ball, he can, but in the sense of taking it to the cup without having KD on the wing or Clay on the wing, so to where you can't cheat and help on that
It
rotating
affords him
defense.
some space, definitely.
If you don't, you know what I'm saying? So imagine if he's on a team where he doesn't have shooters, he takes that to the cup. That help defenses rotating over, and he is getting his shit beat every rip, or he's not gonna.
He's got a nice floater though, so maybe not every time.
He
It's
does,
just-
but that's because he's a single man defense. You can't cheat on that team. You can't cheat as a defensive team on the Warriors. That's why they win, are so dominant. But you put him on a team where you can cheat and go help him on defense. You're swiping every time. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's swiping down low for that when he's going up, or he's dribbling, you swipe it, or you rotate the defense. You you draw the charge, or you just contest him to where he can't even get over them. So I just think what they have together as a team is great.
I think what's overlooked is how high all their starters basketball IQ is, because that was one of the things that was
Steve Kerr
is a big part of that.
He is. That's like we just said. If you don't have a good coach for your entire career, the chances of you being great are very slim, because the sense of the knowledge that you pick up from them great coaches. You can be great because you're so athletic and you're so gifted talently, but if you can't mold that into a greatness because you don't have somebody on the outside as a coach to be like, hey man, when they do this, kick it out to your man that's out there. Or when you see them want to help rotate, just go up and draw the foul. You know, just little stuff like that. You know?
Steve Kerr has single-handedly added 5 years to JaVale McGee's career.
He should have got Finals MVP. No, he played good though, but like therein lies the system in the sense of this is the system we're gonna play. We brought all the players we want, or we have the players that know how. It's like the Patriots. Their system is so good. One man's down, it's next man up, and that's how Steve Kerr almost has it, because when Steph was hurt a little bit, they had the next man up. Would they bring Swaggy P up? Swaggy P was running the ball up court.
Swaggy P. Man.
You know what I'm saying? So, but he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
So it's a system thing. That's what I think, in the sense of just like Phil when he was coaching the Bulls. I mean, it was a system thing.
Absolutely.
It was a system that fit perfectly, and the same thing with the Lakers. Phil Jackson had the system, and they played that system perfectly. So I mean,
they had the right pieces.
So you take some of them players off that. Andrew Bynum's never getting a championship.
Yeah.
Paul Gasol, what's he do?
Yeah.
What's Derek Fisher do without Phil Jackson? You don't know. What's Kobe do without Phil? What's Jordan and all them do without Phil? You can like we said, the what ifs, but the systems are so good to where it makes these players look so much better than they are. Not saying Jordan is. I'm not taking away from that in that sense. I'm taking away, you can't even say Scotty, because Scotty damn near won the MVP without Jordan. And then he took him to the playoffs without. I mean, even when he was in Portland, he went to the fucking playoffs. People take away. Our friend Justin was saying that Scotty was in the top 50 greatest of all time.
Scotty proved that in Jordan's baseball years and when he went to Portland.
And that's what we said. We're like, bro, what about? They had Justin, I love you, bro. I'm sorry I'm putting you out on blast like this, but
don't matter. He ain't gonna listen.
Yeah, I know he don't listen to it.
That's
He's not gonna listen.
conversation.
But it's a system thing. So I mean, you go to the system and you do great. You put some of these players, take them out of the system. That's why people are like, oh, he's the best this, or he's this good. Like, yeah, because he's in a team they win. So everybody's playing well. You can't cheat. You can't do all that shit that everybody else is doing. You put them on. Who's a terrible team? The Nuggets. Well, they're not terrible. You put them on the Nuggets.
Nets.
The Nets. All right, perfect.
You're welcome.
His size, like you said, is gonna hurt Steph in the sense of
he's not AI.
No, he's not. He's no one is
No one is
AI.
AI.
No one is AI.
No,
But
absolutely
like I said, so I think he will go down as a great player because of the system he played in. And that's unfortunately the way. Well, fortunate for him, but unfortunate for other players, the way the cookie crumbles. It happens to a lot of people. Tom Brady got lucky to get drafted by the Patriots and be behind probably one of the best football coaches of all time.
He might have been out of the league 15 years ago if it wasn't for the Patriots and Bill Belichick.
He might not have ever done anything if Drew Russell didn't get hurt.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But Bill Belichick, like I said, you throw him. I hope nobody's a Cowboys fan. You throw him in the Cowboys, and Tom Brady is nothing what he is
not,
because they didn't build that system. I think that shows you the difference between a Steve Kerr and a Tyronn Lue.
Definitely.
The Steve Kerr he's a great coach. I mean, he also learned behind Phil. We talked about that.
And Pop.
And I've totally forgot about he was behind Pop too. So you learn behind two of the greatest coaches
Ever.
The only person he needs to learn behind now is Pat Riley. But I mean, already
He's got everything he needs. He doesn't need Pat Riley now.
You know what I'm saying?
The
So
players that he played with too.
Yeah.
MJ, Scotty,
Tim.
Yes.
Manu.
Yes.
I mean, he played
well,
with some,
Jordan and Scotty and Timmy were probably his biggest influences in the sense of because then he learned how big men have to be in the sense of with Timmy. The guard play. Well, Scotty was a small forward, but in a sense,
Jordan though. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a guard play, so you learn a lot from them. And even in all reality, Steve, even when he played, I've listened to some of the in huddle, like when they're in the huddle,
coaching while he's playing.
He was actually intelligent from the jump, but. Let's be honest. Usually, the small white guy, he turns out to be the coach
because he's got that. He's got to make up for his size and athleticism.
The lack thereof.
And he also was a point guard too.
Right.
So usually point guards, I always feel have to have that coaching aspect to them.
Right.
I don't want to get too much into breaking down the Warriors, their offense, and all that other stuff. I do want to say congratulations to them on winning the championship. They're favorited to win the title next year, barring any major free agents changes, which I think that we all agree. Outside of LeBron going to Houston, we're probably still going to pick the Warriors to win the championship next year. Also, I want to call Joe out and congratulate at the same time the Washington Capitals. I think like 5 or 6 episodes ago, maybe it aired, maybe it didn't, I don't remember. Joe said that Washington was cursed and that they would never win a championship. Well,
I don't think I said never, but yeah, they definitely were. It's a city thing.
Yeah, you said
over.
Yeah, it is over. Ovechkin.
So the Wizards are going to win next year.
Hell no.
What about the Nationals?
The Nationals are still going to lose.
They're still getting coached by Dusty Baker. Don't forget.
No, they're not.
Hey,
they fired him last year.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
If anything, now is the time for them to win. But
Good old Dusty. Didn't he coach you guys too?
yeah, something like that. Those days are over. We don't have to remember those days anymore. We can forget those now. But yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Did you guys have Dusty when that whole spiel went down?
That was
Whole spiel.
Dusty.
Okay.
Yeah, Dusty was
So
flipping
he's
that
a good
toothpick.
coach. He took y'all there.
Dusty is
Damn, Bartman.
Yeah, you know what? Dusty is that coach to get you to the dance.
Only
But-
unintelligent Cubs fans blame Bartman.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, intelligent Cubs fans blame Dusty.
I mean, I feel like you just
The whole
gotta call it-
situation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But all right,
congratulations
yeah.
to Washington.
You guys.
Congratulations to Washington. Watching Alex Ovechkin celebrate the Stanley Cup championship win has been one of the best things for me this weekend.
I agree.
He's living his best life.
It kind of made me come to the realization that hockey players are the most real. You get them in their pure celebration form, where like basketball players, I feel are like superficial.
They got an image.
I mean, he went out and got canned, like wasted.
and is out in
That's what
public.
hockey players do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what hockey.
Corey Crawford was wasted at the Blackhawks rally.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Ovechkin's doing keg stands out of the cup. He's
I saw that him swimming.
Swimming in
swimming
a
in-
public pond.
Yeah. Like that's. I like
Gets
that.
up, kind of stumbles a little bit.
But I think that's how sports players in our reality should
I
be.
agree.
Like, because then
Loosen up for a little bit.
you can relate to him a little bit. You're like, bro, that dude was doing keg stand. That's
Right.
awesome. Like,
Right.
it makes
That's
people
how would
maybe
I
wanna
celebrate.
Maybe they might have just got an extra 10 viewers
Right.
because of that. In the
Mm-hmm. Right.
sense of hockey, like you let them be real and you let them. But that's why the NBA is and the NFL are where they are versus the NHL, unfortunately, because they live by a completely different creed, and you can't be yourself. You have to be. No, everything was great. Yes, my teammates, they are playing great. I'm be like, nah, fuck that. But that's why.
You know what? You just reminded me of something, and I want to take a second. Once again, congratulations to the Washington Capitals. But the reason why the NHL is where they is because they operate on an unprofessional level. Did you guys watch the end of Game 4 or Game 5?
To be completely honest, I didn't watch. I
wanted
don't watch
to,
hockey.
but-
I don't watch hockey. I'll
Okay.
let everybody know I don't watch hockey.
I actually was invested in this series. I watched games 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Asleep.
The last 2 minutes of Game 5 was the biggest debacle of professional sports I think I've ever seen in my life. Jesse, did you watch it? Yeah. Okay.
He said, "Me, Jesse." Like, yeah, of course I watched it.
Okay. So in the last, like, I don't know exactly what the minute mark was, but the clock disappeared. The clock disappeared. The Vegas Knights were down by 1. They were still playing hockey. The announcers are saying it. The clock on the big scoreboard completely stopped. It paused at 1 minute. They're still playing. Nobody's stopping the game. Nobody's doing anything to get this situation under control. They play a full 3 minutes of hockey untimed.
I didn't know that.
A complete 3 minutes of hockey untimed, and then finally somebody looks up and says, "Oh shit, the clock's not working." So they call a stoppage, and then the referee spent about 3 or 4 minutes trying to figure it out. The game was over. The game was definitely over.
Did anything happen in those 3 minutes?
The Vegas Knights got, I think, 2 shots at the goal that were close, and definitely in the point
Would that
where
have changed it? What was the score? I don't know.
it was 3-2.
Oh, so it would have changed.
It would have changed the game.
Okay.
So
somebody in Vegas.
Got paid a lot of money.
No, somebody in Vegas didn't want to lose a lot of money in
Right.
the sense of the Capitals or the Knights were supposed to win it.
Yeah, we're supposed to win, or at least extend
and
the
they
series.
tried to cheat.
That damn mafia.
So,
Yeah,
so
That
maybe
damn
there should be
mafia.
sports in Vegas. So the officials get together, they huddle up, and instead of saying, "Okay, enough time went by, this game is over,"
They let him play.
they
that
put
minute.
another minute and a half on the clock.
Swear.
Yes,
So what you're saying is they played 4 more minutes than what
they
they should have
played
played.
4 more minutes of hockey for no reason whatsoever. Am I miscrewing this at all, Jesse? Is that?
I do not think it was 3 minutes, but you could be right. I am looking that up right now.
It was a significant amount of time to where that game was over.
I mean, you can score a goal in a flick of a second if it can happen, but shit, I don't know. That's crazy though.
I watched
Even
that.
if it was a minute, it's still you don't see it in any other sport.
when they started play again, I wanted Vegas to win that series. I wanted Vegas to win that game to at least extend it.
Yeah.
When they started play back up, I was praying that the Vegas Knights didn't score because I didn't want
It to
that.
go-
I didn't want it
happen
to
like
go
that,
down that
yes,
way.
yes.
They didn't watch Washington, Ovechkin. They didn't deserve for that
Yeah.
to be the way that game went on.
and they potentially lose a series.
They could potentially lose that game. You know, another game when you had won the series is ridiculous. So I gotta call the NHL out. That was poorly handled. This is part of the reason why you are 4th as far as the 4 major sports in this country. They got to do a much better job. That's got to be handled on the top. This is your championship series. Stuff like that absolutely
It's the Stanley
cannot
Cup.
happen. Yeah,
It's not the first game of the year.
right. It's
We're
not.
like,
It's
oh,
not a
look,
game.
this-
It's not a game in February when nobody's watching. This is when you have the most eyes on your sport.
Yes, and
you
this is
cannot
you
let
have
that
to
happen.
shine in that sense. You know
Absolutely.
what it was? The clock keepers, they're Capitals fans. They started celebrating a little earlier.
They got off the clock.
They
Oh,
saw it's done. We won it. Yeah, no, bro, you're supposed to keep playing.
So, congratulations to the Capitals. I love watching Ovechkin celebrate. NHL, you have to do better if you want to come off of that number 4 spot.
I'm just glad Sidney Crosby didn't win it again.
Me too.
Yeah, you can't get more than Taves and Kane, in my opinion. I don't want to see it.
I mean, I don't care about that. That doesn't matter to me. But you know, the little bit of hockey I do know, I just know Ovechkin's been with the Capitals, and he's
Grinding.
been trying, but he comes against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh.
Are you a New York Rangers fan?
I don't follow hockey.
Okay.
I don't. If I did follow hockey, yes, I'd be a Rangers fan, of course. New York, everything.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I don't follow hockey like that. What's crazy, and I tell people this. I was on a job site the other day, and they were talking about something about sports, and then soccer, and then hockey got brought up. I said, to be honest, I watch more soccer than hockey, and they all turned at me like I was crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's the most popular
a lot
sport in the
of-
world.
yeah, and I try to explain to
lot of
people that, but they don't want to. They're like, what? But it's just, a bunch of drunken union workers that just want to see people get hit, and they don't want to see hockey or soccer
Right.
played the way it is. But it's neither here or there.
The clock was only out for 45 seconds. That's accurate. Okay. Okay. So how much do you know how much time should have been put back on the clock? Did they get that right?
In total,
Maybe.
it's accurate too, because if 45 seconds, they said that the clock went off with 1:49 remaining.
Mm-hmm.
That was a rough estimate, so say it took 49 seconds. The clock turned back on with 51 seconds left.
Okay.
So they at most may have lost 10 seconds.
They may have lost 10 seconds.
And during that time, Vegas had an empty net, so
Right.
if you want to add that to it, but I don't see them getting past Holtby at any point during that.
Okay. So I'm still not taking back what I said about the NHL. They might have handled that situation as best they can. That still can't happen. And watching that game, it felt like an eternity. But
Oh, I'm sure it could have felt like an eternity for the players. It's even worse then. You're like, oh.
what is going on?
You're trying to point to the
that's-
ref, and he's just, what are you
Yeah, like if you're on the Capitals, you're looking at that like, what the hell is going on?
Like, hey, somebody hit somebody with a stick, get a penalty, so
Right,
we
something.
address this situation.
Right. Pick up the puck, something.
Yeah, right. Do something.
Okay, so we're off of that. Joe, I'm gonna let you decide where we go next. Are we talking World Cup or are we talking TO?
What do you necessarily want to talk about, T.O.? What happened?
Okay, so for those that do not know, T.O. was finally inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame after 3 years of eligibility. He should have been, in my opinion, should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. This is about statistics and the way he played on the field, not antics or off the field, anything. Supposed to be. T.O. finally got inducted, and he made an announcement this week that he is not going to be at the Hall of Fame ceremony, that he wants to take in these the moments of him getting inducted into the Hall of Fame in his own way, and he is going to announce how and when he's going to celebrate at a later date.
If that's not T.O. in a nutshell.
People must have forgot who T.O. was.
When I got the update that said T.O. wasn't gonna go, I said, "Oh, it didn't." I wasn't shocked. I
right.
wasn't like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's not." No, it was like,
Like the nerve, the
Oh.
audacity.
"Oh, goddamn T.O. still being T.O."
Yeah. I mean,
It doesn't.
maybe a little disrespectful to your other Hall of Famers that have been through it, that showed up, did their speeches and everything like that. But if you don't want to do it, bro,
That's
you
a
don't want to
personal
do it.
opinion, you know.
If you got some of these players that go to the draft, some players spend it with their family in their house.
yeah,
it's your
you don't get
personal.
knocked for it.
I agree with that, but and I'm not, actually not. I have no issue with it, but I don't think that anyone's ever opted to not go to the Hall of Fame ceremony.
I thought what my first reaction was when I got the update that he was going to go. I thought he was making a stand against the NFL in the sense of how they addressed this kneeling and the standing versus the national anthem. So,
T.O.'s way too selfish for that.
but that's what my first initial reaction was is like I like that he's doing that in the sense of like if he's doing it for a stand against how they address that and that you have to sit in the locker room if you want to stand if you want to kneel. So I thought that's what he was doing at first, and then when I asked you, you figured out why he doesn't want to go, and he just him being T.O. So I'm kind of just like, whatever, it's T.O. But I thought when he was at first, what had happened was he was making a stand. I was like, God damn T.O. He turned a whole new leaf since he retired.
Wrong.
No, I was wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong again. Wrong. No, but you know what? If I respect him, because you know what? To be completely honest, I hate Publix. I hate public crowds. I that's not me. I'm like, there's too many people around. I don't like it. Shit. Maybe he's like that too. Maybe he just doesn't want to do the whole
T.O.
T.O. loves that
T.O.
camera.
lives for the lights and the camera.
Maybe he doesn't though. Maybe he did really change the
That was
belief
his
and
show?
that's him
Maybe.
showing like, you know what? I don't
Maybe.
care what. I don't need to be that.
Right.
I'm gonna celebrate on my own with my family. And
We'll see how he decides to celebrate.
And that's the thing. Him announcing what he's gonna do later makes me think, oh, he's still T.O. But if he would have been like, no, what? I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna spend it with my family, and we're gonna celebrate the way we want to. I would have respected him. Like, shit, good for you, T.O. You changed. You don't care about the whole being in the spotlight anymore. You don't need that.
I think he's going to try to sell his TV rights to him celebrating being in the Hall of Fame. I think that's his play.
I mean,
Look, I can see what you're saying, but
I was trying to put
smells a little fishy.
Good faith in the person, but
I love T.O. T.O. is one of my favorite football players, but that smells a little fishy to me.
it does. I just hope that it's not a big shoe. Or if he does it and donates the money, like, and this is completely off topic. When people talk shit about LeBron, about how he went to Miami the way he did it, people don't. But the uneducated sports fans don't know the money that that they got for that whole spiel. He donated it.
Yeah.
So he did it for a good cause.
He told ESPN, he's like, I'm gonna let you guys air this, but the money you have to donate X amount of dollars to
So
kids. Yeah.
I love that. So like if he does something like that in the sense of like, all right, I'm gonna sell the rights like you said to, but we have to donate this money. Good, I love that. But if he's doing it just to make money himself,
See, LeBron
Not
doing it
for
for
we.
the decision was in character. That
Yes.
whole thing of like, doing it for the kids, because LeBron gives a lot back, and I don't
people
think
don't
people realize
understand
that.
what he does for his
I
community.
won't get on LeBron James for what he does off the court. I won't do that because he's actually really good for the community,
he's
for
a
the
role
people.
model
He is
to a T.
absolutely. T.O. on the other hand has been about T.O. his entire life.
Yeah, that's true.
So If he does it, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be great. Good for you, T.O. You've grown up. I just don't see it.
It's like if Chad Johnson did it or something. You know, it's gonna.
I'd expect it out of Chad Johnson before T.O. To be honest with you.
Ocho Cinco. I'm sorry.
Ocho Cinco. Did he change his name back? Or is he still Ocho
He
Cinco?
he probably never changed it. The NFL probably just let him do it because they know it's gonna bring
No,
people to watch.
I think he legally did. He had to, but I
Meta
don't know
World
if he
Peace.
changed it back. That's
Meta World
Meta World Peace. Yeah, did he change his name? I don't know.
I hope they change their name back because
No, I think he changed it to something else, like something crazier.
Ron Artest changed his to
like
Muhammad.
Meta Love or something like that.
Probably.
I don't know. It's still Meta World Peace. All right, dope. Okay, that's all I wanted with the TO.
Meta World Peace, but I ran in the stands and beat somebody up.
That was Ron
Artest.
That was pre.
Yeah, that wasn't Meta. That was Ron.
That was
No,
before
that
he
wasn't me.
found
That was
out-
Ron Artest. I'm Meta World Peace.
That's before he read the Quran. That's before he read the Quran. Then he read the Quran and he changed his name to Meta World Peace. Give the man a fucking break, goddamn. Hey, you know what? But if you just got in a fight on the on the court and then you're laying there and somebody throws a water bottle at you, tell me you guys. I don't know about
I'm
you.
in the
I've seen
stands.
yes, I've seen
Look,
you.
look.
I know you're.
You're
in
not
there.
even gonna let him throw a water bottle at you to say, "What'd you say?
Yeah.
What?"
Probably.
Look,
You know, so,
But yeah, definitely.
from our point of view, I agree with you 100%. This man lost millions of dollars doing that, though.
They but still, my dignity's more important than that goddamn money. You just do a water bottle at me, and then there, you know,
and I'm already pissed.
well, and you know what really sucks, and I hate bringing this topic up because it is a subject that I hate and the word I hate. But you know, people are racist as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And
It was in Detroit.
you know what I'm saying?
I don't care. It was in Auburn Hills. That matters.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't care where you could be in LA. There's still going to be racist people there. And so
Definitely.
I could only imagine what was getting said to them too. On
Because
top of
fans think they're invincible.
They do.
You seen
And then
James
when the
Harden?
motherfuckers running-
Yeah, bro. You seen James Harden slap the one dude's phone.
Yep.
Westbrook get in the dude's face in Utah.
Marcus Smart when he
Bro.
was in college.
Shit.
This old racist white dude is talking shit to a college athlete that's trying to make a name for himself, and you're saying the shit you're saying to him.
Right.
Bro, I would have. But he knew what he had to
can't-
think.
he knew what was at
'Cause
stake.
I know if I'm Vince Carter, before I don't know if he retired this year or not, but if I would let somebody say some shit to me, I'm like, bro, I'm about to retire anyways. Pow, and just be like, just chill, and then be on the crowd. This is why I do it because these motherfuckers are talking shit and being racist as hell.
I mean,
That's-
Westbrook said it best. He said these fans think they can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
That was the Utah fans, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That didn't shock me for some reason.
No,
Doesn't
no.
matter whether it shocks you or not. It's
No,
If you
absolutely not.
can't-
It doesn't make it right at
Right.
all. No,
You know where it's even worse is soccer in Europe.
they don't give a fuck in soccer.
Bro, what they do.
they'll
to
light
those-
the stadium on fire.
Bro, they send they send them hate letter in the sense of like calling them.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying.
sure.
I don't
Yeah.
even like even
Right.
saying it
Right.
at all, and like that. You know what they're saying, but it's just ignorant, bro.
you're
But
right.
that's the
You're right.
difference between.
That's the world.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the way it is.
So, AK, you gave me a perfect segue. Thank you for that.
That was good.
World Cup.
High five, Aaron.
That's.
Transition. Smooth.
I have not been. I've not been up on the World Cup like neither of you guys have been, or Jesse. I don't know if Jesse's been up. I just threw your name out there. I'm sorry. But I do know two very, very, very key notes about this year's World Cup is the United States is not a participant because they didn't make it, and surprisingly, Italy is not a participant because they didn't make it.
the macaroni and spaghetti.
So me and Joe have no rooting interest in this.
Croatia's in it.
I know.
They are. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it because it's the World Cup. But
Yeah.
I mean, Italy not making it. I mean, you know, me and Aaron talked about it when the players. You know, there was like 5 players and our goalie retired.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, we're not making the World Cup. I mean, there's no argument.
But it's
about
Italy.
it.
I mean, I would still find it hard to
I
think
understand.
that
We've
Italy's
been to
not going to
6.
make it.
We
Hey.
won 4. I understand.
Hey.
It's a name stake in World Cup, but
This
the
is
Giants got to fall off. You know.
it was like this is a different sport, but the Yankees went to the playoffs 13 years in a row. Of course. And that
Spurs.
14th year they didn't go. It's like
They wanted to fire Girardi on the spot.
you're like
What are you guys doing?
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those names that you know what, and they might be down for a little, but they will be back. They will be back. That's one of the maybe not the U.S. because U.S. sucks.
They were so close at one point.
They
too.
were.
They were like right there. and
The
it just-
women's U.S. soccer team is better than the men's, and
Standard.
they've been better than
Standard.
the men's
100%.
for a long
it's not
time.
even. It's not even close.
And it's like, how are the women so good, but y'all suck?
Right.
How y'all suck so bad? But I mean, in all reality, it's not soccer is not a dominant sport in the United States, so I can understand that. But it's kind of crazy not to see Italy in it. They've definitely been the team that has been just around. You know, they did win it. What was that? They won it 8 years ago.
06.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to read this off, and we're going to get back into this World Cup talk. Jesse just sent this. He said, for the first time in World Cup history, the refs have the protocol and can suspend or cancel a game for racial chants.
Nice. I like that.
No shit.
That's good. That's real. I like that a lot. I like that a
You're
lot.
forcing people to behave.
Okay.
Um,
yes, to
in
a
a time
certain
where they
extent.
need to.
What
though.
if
Yeah.
what if they don't understand the other languages of the other team and they're still, you know what I mean?
You've got somebody there that knows.
Yeah,
knows.
there's gonna be somebody there that's gonna hear it and know it. But in all reality, if I'm a black soccer player and I'm playing for Uruguay, let's just throw a random, and I'm over in another country that I can't understand what the hell they're saying, but I think that there's gotta be so you're not gonna hear it. You're not gonna know what they're saying. You should talk all you
We're
want.
not. Yeah, we're not.
You know what I'm
gonna
saying?
know, yeah.
You know, and the players might not, because if they don't know the language, then it's not a big deal.
If
So-
you're Croatian, you don't know Italian.
No.
You don't.
No,
What are you
but,
saying?
But it's almost like, I think a lot of these World Cup players, in the sense, I think it's almost like I think a lot of them know multiple languages.
Well, they play in different countries.
Well,
a lot of them do.
Well, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
them
They
do.
know the basics of
Certain,
multiple
yeah,
languages.
So there might
Definitely.
be, I don't know if the N word is universal. You know what I'm saying? I don't
That's a
like
good
to say it,
question.
but there's a lot of English words that aren't translated into other in Spanish. Like there's like no.
They literally
I
have
think-
to say the English.
Yeah.
words.
In all honesty, I think here in America, we probably have the lowest percentage of bilingual
Easily.
residents of any country.
Easily. I wouldn't even.
Any
Probably.
major country
Yeah, yeah.
in the world, I would probably say.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, you don't know, but like, yes, definitely. I do like that a lot with the refs, what they're able to do, because that's cool. And you know, you just have to hope the refs aren't racist themselves.
Okay.
And that's what comes. You know, you never know.
Another note from Jesse. A lot of England players are telling their families not to come in fear. What the hell is going on in the World Cup?
It's my
Are
brand.
they that
It's
are
already
they
my-
that terrified of what's going to happen? Are we going to have riots in the World Cup?
Shit, maybe. I have no idea. They
I mean,
they do it. They do
Like,
it over.
You're not. You're
Like
not
the Man
lying.
U and the Man United and the Man City fans
They-
hate each other.
Like,
Definitely.
hate
Right.
each
Like,
other.
forget
That-
about
I don't watch hockey,
Cubs,
and I know
White
that.
Sox. That's his rivalry. That's
It's
no,
like-
I don't want to.
Like
see
it's
fake
on
that.
site fisticuffs.
right?
Yeah.
You know,
But like Aaron was saying about the whole soccer in Europe and overseas. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen the two Escobars, but that just shows you.
yeah.
One Escobar fucked up, and the other Escobar got him killed. Plain and simple. I
Yep.
mean, you cost us a lot of money.
Yep.
It's money rules the world. It's,
Yeah,
it's what it
unfortunately.
boils
Definitely.
down
The
to.
go the those countries' government run those
Different than us.
teams
Right.
a lot different. It's
Yeah.
it's just a lot different. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I don't blame because they get drunk. It's like anything. You get drunk, you're watching your country,
Right.
and that's the and
It's
and,
different
and-
because
and-
they don't have professional sports the same way we
and
do.
you know what? And this is really,
It's all for
really,
country.
this is really, really off topic. And there lies the point of the problem with the world is because they create us to be so patriotic, to hate everybody that is not from our country, in the sense. And then they're doing this World Cup, and so then you put in the patriotism in the sense of, oh my God, I'm so Portugal. Fuck anything else. Portugal is the greatest of all time. Not even necessarily talking about soccer, but they're talking about their culture.
Right.
And they can't, and that's the problem. You just have to accept other people, and they don't.
That-
So they fight.
Those
and they're like,
those
"You're fuck England."
because those countries aren't racially diverse like we are, so we're used to seeing different cultures on a daily basis.
But I'll put it to you like this, and this is overall general, not necessarily everybody. But when the World Cup comes around and Team USA is in the World Cup, you have millions of World Cup USA soccer fans that have no idea what anybody is on the team.
right?
No, not at all.
What is it? I believe that we can win.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No.
Let's be real. No,
You just
don't.
want to say yes. The U.S.
You
is
want
in the World
you
Cup.
want to
yes,
be a part.
yes.
You want to be a part of it because it's popping.
And you want
That's
and you
America.
want to be a part
Right.
of it because you're like, yeah, America has a chance to be even better than what they think they are and win the World Cup. And it's like, No, that's all people know it is. They don't know the players. They
Yeah.
don't know the teams. They just like I said, it's the patriotism. That's what
Us
that is.
Americans are terrible.
And then therein lies the racism in European soccer because they're bringing these African players from like the Congo and stuff like that to these English, European, and they, you know what I'm saying? So,
Sketchy.
Well,
and
it is-
it's not their culture. It's not what they're used to. So everybody is afraid of what they're not used to or what they don't know. And that's where that problem is. But yeah, the whole riots and shit, that they're crazy for that.
To get to the grouping, what's up?
And it started with the Russians calling the French national team. They were doing monkey chants against the game against Russia in March, and a lot of players were sending players death threats and leaving a lot of fascist and like alt-right symbols like marked on the stadium. They're like signalling in like during the game.
Dude.
Oh, what the?
Well, like
fuck?
all the like Pogba and all those African players, bro. I've read articles about like what they get, and they don't even want to go play anymore, damn near, because they're like we're sick of hearing it. It's disgusting. And
How do you expect me to play at my best when I'm worried if someone's gonna literally snipe my face off while I'm playing soccer?
and that would happen more there than anywhere
Easily,
else.
right.
You know, you could throw a fucking bomb. You know what I'm saying?
over a
Like,
stadium.
and unfortunately, that's just the way the world is, and that's why there's never going to be world peace.
Well, back to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So we got the group
Yeah,
that
please.
sticks out to me is Portugal, Spain, Morocco, and Iran. Not necessarily because of Morocco or Iran, but Portugal and Spain in the same group.
Yeah, that's definitely
tough. That's a
it's
tough
definitely
one.
tough. I mean, in all reality, Germany and Mexico too. That little, I mean, Sweden
Yeah.
isn't really nothing. Korea,
Right.
Korea, I mean, is definitely solid. And believe it or not, I mean, and the whole Group H as a whole, but Colombia is a very good team. I mean, I was talking to my grandpa. He still coaches soccer to this day.
They're
he's a
quiet.
diehard.
They're
Yeah,
quiet.
he's but yeah. So I mean, it I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, I think the favorite probably Argentina. That's
Yeah.
and in all reality, that's kind of what I'm going for because with all these other teams not in it and a lot of their good players are down, some of these teams made it by the skin of their
Right,
their
because some of the higher teams didn't make it, you know.
teeth. You know what I'm
but
saying.
yeah, I mean,
so it's gonna be interesting. I think. I mean, it's probably it's probably gonna be Argentina.
soccer's definitely not something that I like analyzing. I like watching it. I mean,
I do
it's
like
not
watching
like
soccer.
the other sports where we can sit here and this and that. What if? Soccer is something that I like to watch and just
Enjoy the actual.
Oh, I can
sport
I
of
can
it.
add nothing to this conversation, but I'm just
all
listening.
right.
I'm
Yeah,
learning.
no,
I'm learning. on
Yeah,
SmackDown.
no, it's like I said, and a lot of it is passing of the torch.
Right.
It's just like in any sport. There's like teams are coming up out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, hold on, you know what I'm saying? Or then the great teams go down for a couple years and then come right back up. It's the same thing. I mean, Italy will be back in there. I mean, France is going to be a tough team. England's going to be a tough team. I mean, you're always going to have your normal teams, but they may lessen their talent
like
and
there was
drop down.
Right.
or-
There was a period where Spain had won that 08 Euro, the 2010 World Cup, and then the 12 Euro. So I mean, Spain was.
Yeah, everybody goes through it. I mean,
Yep.
with Messi there, I think what Messi needs definitely is a World Cup in his
Big
pocket.
time.
But so
This
does
is his final World Cup, isn't it?
It's
probably
most likely.
yeah. It'll probably be Ronaldo's last one too.
Yeah.
And he's another one that if they put that in there, I mean, they're already greats. They're gonna
Yeah,
but
the stuff that they the way they score in league play and the way that they just play their game for their team.
I mean, Real Madrid won like their what was it, not the La Liga, I forgot what champion they just played in, and Champions League. Yeah, I mean that they've won that. I mean,
Right.
X amount of times you look at
Those are all-
Barcelona.
right.
Barcelona's won. I think they're in the La Liga league, isn't it? Is there? Yeah, and so you know what I'm saying that they win that consistently. You know, like there's never a changing
Right.
of that, but that's
Right.
because as a club team you can draw. It's just like it's just
You
know,
get
it's the
them
same
good
thing here. You
players,
can-
right.
They're the Golden State of soccer. You know, that's literally what it is.
Before Golden State.
Before, way
Yeah.
before Golden State. I mean, Barcelona at one point in time they had
A lot of money flowing through that.
there's a lot
lot.
of those soccer clubs make more money than like, a
lot.
lot of clubs, a lot of teams here, and it's outrageous. But yeah, no, I'm interested. I'm excited for it. I
It's
always
gonna
watch the
be
World
it's
Cup.
gonna be something that we'll touch on every episode, but it's not something that we're gonna dive into
it-
like crazy.
We don't follow it as much, obviously, because it's not a dominant sport over here. Because I couldn't tell you who's even.
We also stopped playing FIFA, so we
Yeah,
play the
we don't-
video game. We know what team
Hey, you know
players
what?
are on what team.
4 or 5 years ago, we would have definitely been able to give
Yeah.
you a lot more. But a lot of those players,
are done.
they're not playing for their
Right.
teams. I mean, because
Chicharito.
Van Persie, the Netherlands aren't in it. This is the first time Netherlands haven't been in it in a long time, and Van Persie was older. I mean, and then what is Ibrahimovic? He's Swiss, right?
Yeah.
So he's in it, and in all reality, shit, he's gone. And I don't know who the Swiss got. I don't know who they have on the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. I definitely love to watch the World Cup just because they're very passionate players and they put it all on the line for that.
If you
definitely.
can understand how passionate these soccer players are about their country and you understand what's at stake, it makes it a lot more interesting than just guys kicking a ball around the field for 90 minutes and,
Yeah, but that's just people that don't know the sport. I try to explain to people in the sense of it's hockey on a bigger scale in the sense of offsides and the way they have wingers.
concept of
they have
scoring is
defensive players.
almost the same. Right.
Yes, you know what I'm saying, but people just don't, people don't understand. But yeah, it'll be interesting to watch the World Cup. I always watch it. I've been watching it for long time. Even it's good to watch. It's sports. And in all reality, when there's not a lot of sports going on, it's about the only thing that's really like, oh shit, that game's coming on. I gotta
Intense.
watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
summers do get boring with sports.
Definitely. So
I want to get to this note that Jesse sent, and then we're gonna get to our Leave It on the Court Player of the Weeks. FC Barcelona is worth $3.6 billion.
what is Barcelona?
Barcelona
Is how much? 3.6
6
billion?
Billy.
B.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure Real Madrid's probably right there with them. I mean, you got to look at all the big names: Man U, Man City, Everton,
And Barcelona and Madrid, those are the
Chelsea.
type of teams that have teams for 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds that are
They got
bringing in money.
players even younger than that.
Right.
They get these kids that they have I think they don't have a U10 team. I think it's like a U12 team, and it's an under 12-year-old team, and they get these kids so young and they keep them. It's basically
right.
it's terrible how they do it actually, but I understand why they do it.
It's like equivalent to like Texas high school football, where the midget teams is the same as the high school team, and that's what they're breeding for. They're breeding for that day where they can put on that varsity uniform, and now it's time to go.
yeah.
Okay. Let's get to our Leave It on the Court Player of the Week. So you guys ready to bring your nominations?
LeBron, I mean, how do you give it to anybody else? I know he lost, I know it, but he left it on the court, plain and simple.
Okay.
It's kind of hard. Because obviously the easy route is LeBron.
Yeah, that you snuck up on me with that question, so
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
got it in and got it out.
I guess, and this is kind of, maybe this is like a biased opinion in the sense of
You mans.
my choice. But I think with the adversity that he was facing in the sense of the criticism from everybody, Kevin Love came to play, and he's fine. And especially these last couple games, he came to play. And so I give it to him because through all that shit, I mean, and, he says he battled bipolar depression or he's
definitely.
got something like that. So if you have that problem.
That's a tough battle in itself.
You
Getting
get
ready
the
for
crit-
life every day is
well,
difficult.
and then you get all this criticism. It could put him in his shell, and it didn't
sure.
put him in his shell. And he came out and played. So like I said, everybody's like, "Where's Kevin Love? Where's Kevin Love?" Well, he finally showed up, and they still lost. So I gotta give it to him.
I got you. My nomination is going to be Alex Ovechkin. He got all the monkeys off of his back. All the criticism is gone. He's a champion. He is out there living his best life.
Why you guys say monkeys?
Come on, man. I knew one of you was going to say something about it.
Fucking comment. Jesus
You know
Christ.
damn well what I meant by
Coming
it.
from the black guy, so racist comments out there.
You know what? I'm self-racist. I'm sorry, guys. I'm self-racist
I'm sorry,
black man.
I'm sorry, but yes, no, continue with Ovechkin. Yeah, the man definitely played.
Like Alex Ovechkin put his heart and soul on the field or on the ice in that series.
I think he's done it forever.
He what?
He's one of those players that I've always had a feeling that he's always He's
Always.
one of them players that's
And
like, I'm gonna play
Loyal.
my
Yes.
hardest.
Loyal, too.
Yes,
And he
is
has
loyal.
he
is
has
loyal.
he has played his heart out his entire career, and he's always come up short. So seeing him get through, he's basically been Chris Paul of the NHL. And there was that comparison in the conference finals. So for him to get through
But Chris Paul still hasn't won yet.
Chris Paul in the conference finals, there was
Oh,
that
yeah,
comparison.
yeah.
Alex Ovechkin finally broke through the barrier that was Sidney Crosby and the Penguins, because that was his big rival. That it was a one-sided
That was
rivalry.
the stopper. Of him. That was the Mike of his sport in the sense of stopping him from getting rings.
That absolutely. And then you had him get to the finals, and you could see, in those first two games, the way he played, it was, I'm not going to let this opportunity slip. I've gotten way
finally
too
got
close.
it. He finally got
Absolutely.
there.
So he got.
So he's 1 for 1 in the finals.
He's 1 for 1. He got the Conn
for him.
Smythe. I said that right? Yeah, good.
So what's that?
That's the MVP.
Oh, really? He got that
Yeah,
too.
he got the MVP. He's got the trophy. He is having a blast. I want him to enjoy it all summer.
Well, he is.
Absolutely.
The man is. He's somewhere in Washington.
He is. I will say this. He has proven he is a one-sport athlete. Me and Joe were watching videos before you got here. We were watching videos of his first pitch at the Nationals game, his golf swing. I think hockey is definitely his calling, and
That's why he's so
and that's
passionate
it.
about it. Because this is all I got. All I got. I'm going 100 or nothing.
But I want him to enjoy this. You absolutely deserve it. He is my Leave It On the Court Player of the Week. Real quick, I do want to touch on some things before we get out of here. First off, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Smack Talk Podcast. Follow the YouTube page, Smack Talk Podcast. You guys want to give your guys' individual Instagram handles?
I mean, I don't really. I mean, yeah, mine is at Jim_crazed. Ben Webb Ben. That's the only thing I got. I don't have Facebook. I don't have nothing else. That's my Instagram.
Yeah, I definitely post most on Instagram at SpaceJams45. Make sure you guys follow.
Okay, and I am at The Real Cerebral. Follow me on Twitter at The Real Cerebral.
You're the real Cerebral?
I am The Real Cerebral.
Pick up that camera with your mind.
Now this shit levitate.
Yes,
This shit levitate. I want my
that shit
respect, damn it.
Big, oh shit. All right, that's right. He is the real Cerebral.
Make sure that you guys, you share this. We're trying to grow this community, the Smack Talk community, as much as we can. I know that the three of us enjoy doing this show. Jesse and Lamar behind the camera, they do a lot of work. We don't want this to be for nothing. So, share it, talk about it with your friends. Let us know what we can. Yeah,
Actually,
spread the word.
I'm at my softball game on Friday, and I had 2 people come up to me and say, I can't wait for the next episode. And I kind of looked at him like, man, that's dope. I appreciate that,
Tell them to share the fuck out of this shit.
Yes.
Please.
But yeah, there are people that definitely are looking forward to us, and we appreciate you guys listening every week.
My financial advisor, he listens too.
I want to meet your financial advisor.
You should. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Cody Troiner, Northwestern Mutual.
The money man.
The money man. The song that you guys heard at the beginning of the podcast that will be available soon is going to be up on iTunes, Google Play, everywhere soon. The full version of it. We're going to try to play it out as we end this. I know Lamar's looking at me a little weird, but we're going to see what we can do. This has been another episode of Smack Talk. Leave It On the Court. Thank you.